The last round of last round of last round of.
You are listening to the Last Roundup Horror Club. I am Frank. With me, as always, is the whole damn crew. We got Jason Miller,
Woo woo.
John Walmsley, Ray McGuff. Oh yeah, and Dave
John,
Edmonds.
I'm stealing it. Stuff.
And
cool.
Yeah, and Dave Edmonds is here also.
Tonight you can call me Flyboy.
Flyboy.
I will-
Oh yeah. I don't know if you want to be
Dave
him.
has been waiting for this.
Dave's
been really waiting for this. This is
I don't
his
know if
shit.
you want to be him.
The worst fighter that
I got it. Some details I want to talk to you about that guy.
Lord.
The man's a broadcaster. He doesn't know what he's about.
That swing he takes, his arm just comes in from the side.
Oh, that was great. That was so fun.
I definitely have that in my notes, so we'll get into that a little deeper. 1978. This is the sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Summary for this film: following an ever-growing epidemic of zombies that have risen from the dead, two Philadelphia SWAT team members, a traffic reporter, and his television executive girlfriend seek refuge in a secluded shopping mall. Written and directed by George Romero. Jason, do you have details on this?
Yeah, so I think everybody knows this tagline. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. That was one of the first taglines that ever stuck with me, and I remember since the first time I read it on the box.
Fucking it's metal as fuck, man. Just
that's a hard ass line.
Distributed by United Film Distribution Company, and I always try to give at least the most recent or the best transfer or whatever. Anytime I'm talking about a Blu-ray release, that's what I'm going for. And John knows all about this latest one from Second Sight, 4K Blu-ray limited edition, which I didn't know they were even going to do this, but now they've released like the lesser version of it. It's like
I don't think you get the soundtrack. I don't think you don't get all the extra shit. You know what I mean? Or maybe you get the soundtrack, but not the book and all that.
Yeah,
you get a taste.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be picking that up. Mainly because I'm just going to throw this out there. We all know there's 100 different cuts of this movie.
Yeah,
and so I have the only version I have is the European version, and that's just too long for me. 2 hours long is just too long for me. So anyway, I'm going back to the Second Sight release. I'm going to pick that up just so I can have the theatrical version. Yeah, that's all I need.
So basically, the story on this movie is that was it Dario Argento? He invited George Romero over there to write this movie, right? And helped them produce it, gave money.
Yeah, they could get the funds or something in the U.S.
Yeah, and then all he wanted was the rights to release it his own way over there. So that's why there's all these different cuts of it. But
hold on, sorry.
No.
Had my headphones on backward.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm so uncomfortable. I am so sorry.
No problem. So Tom Savini evidently says in hindsight he thought that the gray skin color on the zombies was a bad idea because some of them ended up looking blue. It's true, but I like that. I like how they look.
They look more blue the worse the quality is too.
Yeah. A fun little extra that I read. The trivia on this is enormous. It's page after page, but the extras in this film were evidently given $1 in cash, a donut, and a Dawn of the Dead T-shirt. And I'm saying I would do it. It's worth it to me.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Well, I would be right there. I'd be like, you can even keep the $1. I don't care. Whatever. I'm in the movie. I get a shirt. Whatever. Yeah, I thought that was funny. But evidently, all these zombies, they would film at like 10:30 or something after the mall closed, and the guys would get painted up, as zombies. It would take forever, and they would go and drink at that bar that you see in the background. What was it called?
The Lovey Pub.
I thought it was
like the steak Lovey Pub.
Yeah, it was
it's
the
always
Brown
that
Derby,
same
right?
shot.
Yeah, it was the Brown Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, Brown Derby.
Yeah, they evidently would go there and get drunk, and they didn't mind because it made their performances. It added to their performances, like, honestly. But a couple of them stole a fucking golf cart and crashed it inside the mall, and it cost them $7,000. Just the image of two guys painted up like zombies. Well, just them going and drinking at a bar dressed up like zombies. I mean, yeah.
And it wasn't even the bikers too. Like it was the blue face extras. Like,
but I think those bikers were a real gang too. I can't remember what their name was. But
in a sense,
they were the hole in the wall gang.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I like. So this was one of the earliest horror I remember seeing. So like before I knew, I was able to tell right away between like Night, Day, and Dawn and stuff. Or any zombie movie always described this movie as the blue face zombies in the mall. Like that. Yeah. That was my description of this movie growing up.
Yeah, and that's what makes it unique. And evidently Romero was trying to make it look more like a comic book, so that's why like he really liked. Savini hated the way the blood looked, but Romero said it was like right in line with what he wanted this shit to look like. So I mean, one of the funny things I read was the actress that plays Francine. Her name's Galen Ross. Mm-hmm. She evidently just knew what she wanted this character to be, and it didn't even matter what Romero told her to do. He told her to scream at one point, and she told him that no, this character wouldn't do that, and he never asked her to do it again. And she wouldn't play a character that wouldn't fight these fucking things. So she was going her own way completely, which is that's a bold move, and I think that I liked that. That's why I like this more than Night of the Living Dead, because Barbara in that movie is just screeching the whole fucking time, man. And I think that maybe Savini took some of those notes from making this film, and when he did his remake in '90, maybe he's like, yeah, we need like a stronger female lead, like, I don't know. It was just a different thing. I think the soundtrack is...
How intimidated could you possibly be by a Hare Krishna zombie?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that is one of my favorite zombies in the movie, though.
Definitely.
The soundtrack is undoubtedly one of my favorite soundtrack ever. I mean, every piece of music was thoughtfully composed or selected for this movie. One of my favorite moments is when the racist dude at the beginning just gets shot. It looked great, and it was like that dude was. I forgot he was in this shit.
Yeah. Wooly.
Yeah. I love the moment where the guy's asking for cigarettes, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta."
That's the best shot right there. Yeah.
And I'm
like, where are you gonna go? And he was like, to the island, and they're like, what island? And then like, any island.
Yeah. And a lot of this stuff, like, I was like, this is what would happen. Like, this is exactly what would happen if zombies. I mean, just look at how we're handling a fucking pandemic.
Right.
I mean, if we had zombies, it would be exactly like this movie. There would be people like, of course they'd be like, no, I don't have cigarettes. They'd also be like, no, I don't have any toilet paper. No, I don't have any. I've got a helicopter I'm stealing from the TV station. But Steven, let's get into him. They portray him as completely inept. Aside from being able to operate that helicopter, he really is just a liability for this group. He attacks a zombie at the fueling station like a man who just got his arms and legs for the first time. And then he nearly shoots Peter directly in his face. And Roger keeps pushing him aside when anything like needs to be done. Yeah, and then he's just shooting bullets in that like boiler room situation. They're just ricocheting off everything. He's really just a danger to himself and everyone around him.
Oh God! Yeah.
He's always almost dying or killing someone accidentally.
And yet his only skill is that he can fly that helicopter.
Yeah, but
that's
you know
the only reason they have him there.
His woman doesn't even have respect for him and thinks he's going to die because she's like, you need to show me how you are going to fucking die. You're terrible. You've almost killed everybody here.
I would learn how to fly that shit.
Yeah. And then she
even kind of walking calamity.
She gives him like a little dig when she's like, maybe I'll learn how to use it when she's talking about the gun. Like, I think that was directed towards him too, because he sucks.
But I mean, that's a lot of foreshadowing, though, to the end of the movie, because we know, all right, he's had so many close calls that, I mean, he's only inevitably gonna find his demise somewhere.
This is
that's how much of a liability he is. Zombie him fucks it up.
This is the first time I've ever watched this movie and been like, man, I am so surprised that Ken Foree like made friends with this guy. At any point, I would want him. I would push him out to the zombies at some point. I'd be like, nope, you're gone. I mean, you were just a calamity. It's really weird. The moment when Peter brings up that not only is it not too late for Francine to have an abortion, but that he also knows how to do it.
Yes,
that's really not a skill that you would ever bring up.
Yeah.
Even if you were in this circumstance, the only one where it would come in handy, just keep those facts close to the vest, I think. I mean, yeah. Let me see. The blood is just bright red paint gushing everywhere. It's so schlocky. The sound effects made me happy. There's plenty of biffs, boffs, splats. Really adds to the comic book feel that Romero was going for. My favorite character is Roger. He's the little bit of a wild card, and I like watching him lose it a little bit before he slowly transitions into a zombie, which every part he has is great. Every line when he's just yelling, "We did it!" Right? That shit is fucking solid gold. When they go into the gun store, all I kept thinking was like how terrible it would be to work in that store. Can you imagine 8 hours a day with just the soundtrack that's happening in that place? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Just with the animal sounds,
the jungle drums.
It's like, dude, what mall do you go to where there's just a complete arsenal? Like even the 70s, like I was just like, 70s. What? There's no way.
Yeah. I've watched this movie with my kids before, and they accused it of being a ripoff of Dead Rising. so I had to like give them a history lesson on it.
Oh wow.
But speaking of video games, the fucking arcade that they go into is bunk as shit, man. Roger is fucking loving it though. He's driving that car thing. I laughed so hard at that shit. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys. Do you remember when they have like that romantic dinner scene?
Where she's all done up.
Yeah, and like there's like does he propose to her or something?
He just hands her a ring.
Yeah, I don't know what, but then it like directly goes into what I assume was the post-coital scene following that dinner, and this is the image that I'm gonna pull it up for you. That you come in on. I just want to know what you think happened during the sex scene, because what is this dead-eyed look? She's staring off at the wall.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't even think
he's
got
out.
to do it.
He's zooted.
Oh, you think he couldn't?
No, I don't think it even happened.
He couldn't.
That's an ED commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's kind of the look that I have when a hooker leaves. So I don't know.
They're just both disgusted with each other.
Yeah, I think
they just resent each other so much.
I think you guys just hit it. That was an ED moment there. But yeah, I mean, this movie's great. The motorcycle gang invades. Things pick up. There's a lot of great gore and nasty, really gross stuff in this whole segment. And that's just the cherry on top of all the great stuff we've already seen. The only issue I have is the ending. I don't know why Peter didn't just hop on that fucking helicopter and get the fuck out of town. she's alone and pregnant, and she just recently learned the basics of helicopter pilotry. So I don't know. I mean, she might need some help at some point. Regardless of any complaints I could cite, this movie is a 10 out of 10. It's my favorite Romero movie and one of my favorite zombie movies. So that's my thoughts.
I believe there was an alternate ending to the movie too, where it was more of a dire. I believe it was just a murder-suicide type deal.
Oh, really?
Where no one got out.
Wow.
I don't quote me on that, but I believe they tried to rework it, and that just didn't work
for
some people.
I think I read there's something about suicide there somewhere.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that going up there, being in that situation? You just blew Steven away. The helicopter doesn't start. You're out of fuel.
Yeah.
You climb back down and just.
Right.
That's crazy.
Now, it's so grim. Where's she gonna go? Like,
Jason, doesn't the copy you and I have doesn't it end where he gets in? I just watched it the other night. I was falling asleep towards the end, but doesn't Peter get in and she says, "How much fuel do we have?" And he says, "Not much."
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's the theatrical cut at the very least.
Oh,
yeah, man. I don't know what the difference is between all the cuts.
Right.
But I do know the theatrical is good enough for me.
Because I remember.
Let me just go ahead and talk about it. It's one of the first horror movies I remember seeing, and it's one of the first tapes that I bought. Anytime you went over to a friend's house to stay the night, chances are this may have been playing. We only had so many tapes back in the day. We had
right on.
Maybe 20 or 30 to choose from. So this is one that got played a lot. So it's nostalgic for me. It's just so many good things about this. The music, Goblin, they did great as always. The writing, the story. There's so many good lines in this movie. The characters. As much as the practical effects kind of suck, I like them. Again, it's probably just part of that nostalgia. Like, my youngest son came in while I was watching this movie, and normally, like, he'll go once he finds out I'm watching a movie, he'll go sit down on the couch to try to watch it with me. He looked at this for about 10 seconds and just walked off. Like, he wasn't interested at all. So they probably look kind of stupid to him, but it is what it is. The acting's good. It's just this European cut. Like, I think it's just little stuff. Like, it seems like when they're trying to back up the trucks to the mall, when they're moving those semis, like, that scene seems like it takes 10 minutes just them driving around the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like some of that's cut out in the theatrical. There's just scenes like that. There's a lot of that where stuff is just going on for way too long. And it don't need to be 2 hours. So everyone's already seen Dawn of the Dead, but whatever. Some young kids are watching this. Give it a go. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I just recommend the theatrical version.
Well, I watched. I got a digital copy from a friend of mine, and it was the 4K Nicholas Winding Refn, however you say his name. Argento cut 4K, and I thought it was the same one you were watching. And you're right. The beginning of that goes on for way longer than the theatrical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the TV station part goes on forever.
Yeah.
And definitely the ending for sure. Takes way longer. I was falling asleep watching it, which I normally don't on this one. But yeah, I mean, same thing, man. It's one of those. I watched Night of the Living Dead 100 times growing up, and this one was always in the rotation right after. I happen to be one of the few people who think the remake's as good, if not a little bit better. People get mad at me for saying that.
No, you said it was better. You clearly said it was.
I'm trying to be polite, but yes, I feel.
I get it.
It makes sense.
It really is.
That was a really good remake. It was so good.
I love the way that Zack Snyder shot that, and I think that the script by what's the guy's name? The dude that wrote Guardians, James Gunn.
Ah,
He wrote the script. I think it's a perfect script update.
It's the only good movie Zack Snyder's ever made. So I mean,
hey,
Wait a minute, he's made something I like.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
hey. Yeah, but
Watchmen.
but for me, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 too. It is, for its time period, it is a perfect encapsulating movie. It has everything that you could want in a horror film. So I would also give it a 10.
So this was one of those ones. I saw it young. I remember, I think the very first time I saw it, it was a sleepover at my house. My best friend Rory was there. Dad rented it. He's like, listen, I've told you about Tom Savini before, right? And we're like, yeah, and I've told Rory because he's my bud. And there were a couple other kids there too. I don't remember who they were. Pop that in. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, this is real shit. You know what I mean? This is, they just hit that dude with a machete. Holy shit. Ah. It was a very, very cool thing to see. I think I was like eight maybe. No, maybe 10. All right. Anyways. Yeah, this is like a quintessential zombie. This is top 3 zombie film all time, and Night of the Living Dead probably is up there as well. Know, but yeah, I got that Second Sight one. It was really good. The picture is amazing. For a long time I watched
hearing about if there was some color correction somewhere.
There might have been.
I'm seeing people throw a fit. I'm like, you guys are so shut up. Like
places
it
that
ruins
look
the
a little
movie.
more realistic than others.
I swear,
the blood's a little. It's just it's not as like painty looking. You know what I mean? It's the transfer and stuff. Like this is, I don't know. The picture behind me may or may not be from the cut. I just grabbed it off of Google, but the effects still look really good in my opinion. I love the part. My favorite effect is where when the zombies get to the bikers, and he's the dude with the handlebar mustache. He just gets his guts slowly ripped open. And they're just in there, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I'm thinking of the 4K releases of Lord of the Rings that just came out. They did some color correction, and people are throwing a fit.
That's true though. They did.
They took the tones and tried to make it look like I don't know. Maybe it's the Hobbit movies. They took those tones and tried to make them look like it was made at the same time Lord of the Rings. We're getting off track, but
oh my God.
Anyway, it wasn't a second sight on the dead. Everything's perfect with it, I'm sure. I don't want to get that rumor started.
So fun fact that I found out from the special features. The one special feature on the new set is like all the zombies that'll talk are talking, and the one in the boiler room at the mall, that's the brother from the Father's Day segment of Creep Show. Remember the smarmy brother on the original Creep Show, and I want my cake, and he's real uppity. That's him.
Oh my God, yes.
So, yay. Fun fact.
Nice.
Let's see here. I like how they went to the mall for a pit stop and it ended up becoming their prison. This is the very thing they were trying to get away from. And do you guys, I don't know, when you guys watch movies, do you look for like messages and shit about like capitalism and all that shit?
Sometimes they just appear. This one has this one has
like I don't care about all that. This is a zombie.
I look
I want to watch
the movie talking to me.
But part of the I
zombies.
thought maybe I just wasn't smart enough to pick up on the stuff, and then I got to think about it. No, I just don't. I don't care.
That's cool, like art and stuff. Like, yeah, that's sweet. There's a meaning behind it. I thought the meaning was let's not get eaten by the zombies. Oh, here's a mall. Malls are huge. Malls are huge and new.
That's the thing, though. You can watch it with different perspectives every time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as many times as we've watched it,
especially the extended cut. Holy shit! I think that's like 2.5 hours or something like that.
That is always unnecessary. Always unnecessary.
It's cool. It's cool to see though. Lots more drama and like resentment and building and building and building and building. I don't think they resolve the did his dick not get hard, or are they just that disgusted with each other moment after dinner. But yeah, this was my first effects heavy movie. This was the goriest movie I'd seen to that point. And I still think it holds up. I don't watch it that often anymore. I got to be in the mood to watch it. I was super in the mood when I got that fucking upgrade, that Blu-ray. Finally, I own it on Blu-ray, So I definitely watched all 3 cuts of that. And the main difference, aside from length, in the Argento cut is all the music is Goblin, instead of with a little tiny bit of that library he got the music from. In the American, in the theatrical cut, it's mostly that stuff and a little hint of Goblin.
Or even those like 70s action tracks that they cut between them too, because it felt like it felt like an old 70s action thriller.
Yeah, he got the for some musical library. I can't remember. It's like they have just a shit ton of music, and they license them out for movies and stuff.
Yeah,
that's where all that got
a big difference when they switched to like the rednecks rounding up and shooting the zombies. It's like some party redneck music, and it cuts right from an eerie Goblin track. Right.
Yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious too, because all those hunters and shit, and all the army people and the police, they just came there and showed up for free, evidently. And that people that those dudes with the guns they didn't need anything more than an invitation to fucking tote their guns out and drink beer.
Drinking Iron City beer, City too, by the way.
Oh wow. There you go.
Yeah, homebrew. Homebrew.
Yeah.
But this is still a great film. It is a good movie. It's well made. It's the Empire Strikes Back of the Living Dead world. It is, like I said, it's in the top 3. Pardon my itchy ass eye. It's a 10. It's not my go-to anymore. It used to be, but just that doesn't stop this being a powerful piece of horror. This is one of the tent poles of modern horror. Like Night of the Living Dead was shocking. This rat like just kicked it up a notch. With the gory effects and stuff in a mall, and it
established a lot of contemporary zombie movies. Like it set the rules almost.
Pretty much. So yeah, it's a 10. Full on 10.
Right on. Dave?
A raging 10.
I want to preface this by talking about Romero a little bit, and by all means, please jump in, because I want this to be a conversation. So Night came 10 years prior to this movie. So every year, like, it seemed like George had taken so much of his time to make this one, as opposed to, because the same thing happened with Day of the Dead 2. It took him many years to develop that film as well. And the way he writes scripts is that he writes treatments, and like, it's not a minute a page. It's literally, he will write Bibles of scripts and ideas that he just wants. He does not write. He did not write conventional scripts whatsoever. So when he was talking to Argento, they really had to rein him in with what he wanted to do at that time. And him as an independent filmmaker at the time, like he was getting no studio backing, so it had to do with him. This movie was made on, I want to say, like it was over $1 million. It was like 1.5 or something like that. So it was really his movie, and they had so much. They put so much. I guess they just knew he could do it, I guess. And I even wouldn't even consider this like, obviously it's a horror movie, but this is a social commentary film, because if you look at Night of the Living Dead, he's like, there were a lot of social commentary cues there by using a black protagonist. Even that ending in the first one really said something to people. And I feel like this one, it had a lot of themes. You have mainstream consumerism. You have sort of like, because even they didn't, when you have that flyover scene as they're going over the mall initially, in Monroeville Mall, which is very close to where John and I live, they go, "What the hell is that?" You know, that was at a point where malls were fairly new. And it was a fairly new concept that you could go into a place and buy whatever the hell you want. So I feel like that was the perfect setting to have something like, okay, this feels like a reprieve for us. This feels like somewhere where we can stay and actually be sustained. There is sustenance here in which we might be able to survive. And that's what I really love about it. And especially watching it now, I feel like there's almost this meta, like, ironic, because now malls are dead. You know, malls are officially dead now. So it's almost funny seeing that they saw that as this like all golden, utopian answer, and now they're still just destroyed. It's fantastic to me.
If you go to a mall nowadays, though, they're all just like living dead people walking through there.
Right, exactly, which makes it so much crazier, because you're just like, like, who's gonna be at a mall right now, and who wants that?
Lots of people still.
Yeah, true, but like you have malls all over America that are just completely dead.
I went to a mall recently and it sucked. There was nothing there. All the shops were closed.
Yeah, except for the zombies.
Yeah.
Or in that case, they are zombies too. And I think there was I gotta look at the quote. So who is it? Pauline asks.
What are you
is it
doing?
What? What's the female's name?
Francine.
Francine. Pauline. Yeah, all right.
I had a hard time with the names, I'll be honest, because they were so.
I always forget Roger's name.
Roger was the one that I knew, but I kept switching up Peter and fucking. I forgot him already.
Yeah.
Peter Bankman.
So she asks him, like, why do they come here? And in Flyboy answers, it's some kind of instinct, because it's an important place in their lives. And I just thought that was like kind of powerful, because you have these people running back to what would be considered contemporary life and what these people have and what they yearn for. And I feel like that's much more important than the gore in this movie. I thought it was great. There was also a time in the beginning when Ron's shooting all those people in that cage in the jail.
Oh yeah.
And he also asked, okay,
in the basement of that building?
Yeah. So he goes, why did they keep them here? And he goes, because they still believe that they're respecting dying. And I thought that was interesting too, because there's still some semblance of normal life, especially in the beginning, because it starts out in this newsroom where people are still trying to do their jobs. You know, there's still a broadcast going on at the same time. There is complete chaos.
Because they're
absolute
arguing about
chaos.
how long they're going to stay on. Like the lady goes like 3 or 4 times in that scene. Like,
Right.
how much longer are we going to do this? We should be
And
getting
some
out
people
of here.
feel like doing their jobs, and other people are like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And there's just this weird duality between like, okay, are we going to abandon our life at this point, or are we going to try to move on and survive?
I'll tell you what,
I just thought that was way more important.
The one conversation that they have at one point on that TV program, where the one guy's like, "Well, I'm talking about doubling the food supply," and he's like talking about feeding the zombies, and I'm like, I'm like, if that point, I would turn the fucking TV off. I'm like, these guys aren't going to solve the problem. I'd be like, we're on our own here.
And so after that, so after they decide, okay, we're going to do this. Us is Flyboy's a weather broadcaster. She's an anchor, and they cut to the hillbillies outside, and it just seems like they're having fun. And and it's like, okay, they think that this is just going to continue until someone's going to, or we have the situation under control. And that was a part where I was just like, well, okay, you have different dynamics here where people think you're going to get through this. But at the same time, there's other people that are like, hell no, this is completely, this just isn't sustainable. And I just thought that was great that they were just taking different character arcs and saying, okay, this person actually, like, hey, let's wait it out. Like, what do you mean wait it out? There's no waiting it out. Like, there's still hope,
I would have stayed in that mall forever. I would have stayed.
Right. Yeah,
exactly. I would have hid away until the bikers left, and then just live there forever. I don't know. Yeah, I would have tried to. What's your rating, Dave?
I love that. I love this movie. This was something that I had watched when I was a kid, and this is probably my favorite Romero movie of all time. I do like Martin though. Martin's one of my other favorite ones. I mean, I'm a Pittsburgh nut, so I like that he, like, there's so many different set pieces and different places that just seem so familiar, even though it may be a mall or maybe an exterior shot. Like, it feels very Pittsburgh to me. There was even a shot as they were leaving that project scene, which I kind of want to talk about that project scene too, where they have the steel building as the lights are going out. So you see this major city as the lights are just blaring, just coming out as they're moving to find.
That was a powerful part, and the music was like real creepy there too. That was a good one.
And the best part of this movie is it sets up immediately. It does not waste its time in saying this is the situation. You have a cameo with George Romero as a tech director during that whole news broadcast, and you can tell the movie's so low budget because they took like the KK, like it would be our equivalent of like a KDKA, where they just printed out they printed out just this cardboard paper and just pasted it to the camera to make it seem like it was like part of that studio. And that was really funny. But like when they get to the projects, so you have certain people that are like completely going rogue, like that big dude with the mustache, like, hey, I'm going guns blazing, I'm gonna kill these guys, and then you get into that room where the amputee is sort of crawling into them, and then you have that rookie in the corner that ends up blowing his brains out, and then following that you have him finally finding a friend as they go into that basement, and then you meet that priest who I'm not sure what the significance of him would be being an amputee, but like there's still this semblance of not necessarily evaluating the situation, but still being like, well, we can still help these people, which I thought was really interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the beginning.
We told you what we think.
Yeah, the beginning is the beginning is crazy. There's a lot of shit happening, but
yeah, that's a rough scene. I remember hearing all those racist terms when I was young, watching this movie, and I was like, oh, man, this guy sucks.
I used to never think people would act like that when in a situation like that, and then I've lived through the last couple of weeks, so
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of those Latino gang members are white too. That they just
oh yeah, John.
Yeah, that one dude was straight.
Martin was
painted brown. Painted brown. But anyways, guys, let's move into our game, the invasion of the skin dancers.
Did Randy rate it?
Oh yeah, he gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dave, did you give it a 10?
Oh hell yeah!
I think it was 10s all around.
Real quick,
if I could give it another 10, I would.
Speaking of landscapes that remind me of Pittsburgh, that opening of Blade Runner always does remind me of Pittsburgh.
So let me say this. I guess everyone gave it 10s all around, and has put this up there as the kind of the top of the zombie movies. This would be my third favorite of Romero's. I like Night and Day better than Dawn.
A lot of people do.
Just saying.
Yeah. But as far as
I haven't seen Land.
Yeah,
I mean, it
was all right. I liked all of them to some degree.
Yeah.
But as far as number one zombie movie, that's going to fluctuate for me. It's going to go between just zombie to.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I was just
Return of the Living Dead.
A trilogy.
Can I ask you guys though? The first time you saw Land of the Dead, the very first viewing, I saw it in the theater and walked out and thought, "Wow, he missed the mark on that."
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I was a little disappointed. It was
first
viewings, it's grown on me.
It was not what I was expecting.
It was sort of like when Fear Factory came out with Digimortal. I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
That's my reference point for that.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, I actually so I wanted to also highlight. So most of the zombie extras, they didn't have enough makeup, so you're either blue or just to get as many people looking like zombies as possible is kind of what George did. In the mall that they were shooting in Monroeville, it was during Christmas, so they could only shoot from, I want to say, like 1 a.m. to like 6 a.m. But there's also a lot of good zombie set pieces where they were building sort of those kill shots, and I was wondering what you guys thought. Which zombies were the favorites? You have that helicopter crash where he was that's cut by the whirly bird.
I think that's probably my favorite one. That was really cool.
I love. I would say that one's the most memorable. I mean, there's a bunch of great ones, but that one for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that was always a fun looking one because he had such a Frankenstein head. Yeah. It was like, okay, something's happening here. That's not natural.
I always like when the fat guy gets it in the fountain too. That one makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, he goes down so stiff.
Those two kids too that he just kills out of nowhere. Crazy. Well, not out of nowhere, but
unexpectedly because he was shooting high through the doors, and then he gets hit by the kids. He wasn't a fan of that scene. That made Ken Foree feel some kind of way. That scene.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple cuts of that movie where they just straight up took that out.
Oh, that's weird.
Probably.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into our game, guys. Invasion of the Skin Dancers. As you recall, the last time a metal orb went into the center of the street. You guys went to investigate it, ended up killing your neighbor Phil Waffles whenever he turned into a monster or whatever happened. As you exit Phil Waffles' smoldering house, you were confronted by two policemen. Shit. Okay, let's start again. You exit Phil Waffles' smoldering house and are confronted by two policemen. Phil had called to come in. God damn it!
Union.
Round 3. You exit Phil Waffle's smoldering house and are confronted by the 2 policemen Phil had called to come investigate the crater in the street. Holy shit. The first officer says, "What the fuck happened at Phil Waffle's house?" The second officer says, "Looks like these well-armed fellows might hold a few clues to to this mystery." Just as you begin to feel like you might be heading downtown for at least a few hours, 2 more metallic orbs plummet from the sky. One plows straight through the officer who greeted you, reducing him to a pile of smoldering flesh instantaneously. The other orb shattered upon impact and splattered black tar substance all over the other policeman. The officer crawls towards his squad car, but is petrified in place, just like Phil was within minutes. Some of this volatile liquid splashes on John's hand and begins eating its way up his arm, burning
Which hand?
Your left hand,
Okay.
burning as it melts the flesh. You're gonna have to do something about this situation. What do you guys want to do?
Anyone got a healing kit? A towel? Water?
Cut his hand off.
Something?
Yeah, I was gonna
Anything?
say we have to amputate.
It seems
Oh,
like
dude,
you
really?
gotta take his arm off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, we gotta take it, dude.
That's the only logic thing to do.
Yeah, man.
It's
But wait a
it's going
minute.
up your arm like a symbiote.
Oh, it's spreading. It's
Yeah.
spreading. Oh, yeah, take
In
it.
about 3, you look
Or
like
no,
you're gonna
actually,
have
no, don't take it. Fuck
you're gonna
that.
have about-
give me some fire.
you're gonna have
burn
about
that fucker.
3 rounds
We
before you in a real situation.
We
I think
can
it's
take
gotta
it
go.
and then cauterize it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut his
So-
arm off.
So wait a second. You said it burned my arm.
Yeah, it's
and
burning
then
your arm.
crawling, It's as it
of like-
crawls up.
Think of like what's his name, Venom, like crawling,
Okay.
burning up, or like the muck that's in the raft. You remember that
There we go.
from
Oh,
Creep
God,
Show too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's going up your arm.
You're the Topher Grace in this
Yo,
situation.
give me a match.
No,
Give me a
gotta
match
go.
or something. I can. What? It's a creature. Don't take my fucking arm.
I would assume
He's
that
getting high. He's getting hostile already.
I would assume that I would assume that Dave would have some sort of match or lighter. He's the
Yeah,
explosives guy.
give me
We're
a
gonna
flare.
have to-
Let me burn this fucking thing off.
How
Let me
do I
see.
roll
It's
to
just
hold
burning
John
me.
down?
It's not infecting me.
You're gonna hold John down.
Yeah, we got to roll to hold John down.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Oh my God! Can you give me a flare so I can at least attempt it? Jesus
He's-
Christ!
you
I'm a
gotta
troubleshooter for
he's
fuck's
trying
sake.
to
Can I
manipulate
troubleshoot my
it.
arm?
He's trying to
You
manipulate.
get a bite on a
guys.
piece of wood, and we're just gonna take
Trying
that
to
flare.
We already voted. We're taking his arm off.
Oh,
Fuck!
oh,
Hey,
you're gonna take it off.
Do you want to stay
Game
alive?
Master, step in.
It looks like
I'm alive right now. Give me a fucking flare to see if I can be alive more.
know
well,
what's
listen.
gonna happen.
Hang
We
on,
know
guys.
what's
This
gonna
is.
We're not killing you.
Hang on a second. Everybody has to account for what they are going to do. Ray, you want to hold John down? Is that what you
If it's gonna be uncooperative, yeah.
okay. So Ray goes to pin John down, assuming that Jason or somebody's going to help him take this arm off.
Yeah,
we're
Burly
we have
guy,
to take
like
yeah.
you. I'm fighting.
Well, hold
okay.
on. I mean, we gotta make sure we have something that can.
Yeah, do we have an
Clean
axe? I
to
know we
begin
got an
with.
axe.
Gee, should we
Yeah,
make
but-
sure?
We have a dull butter
Make
knife.
sure I can't get rid of it?
I
All
could,
right, Frank, let's do this. Let's let John burn his arm with the some match or something to see if it goes away first.
Like the
All
homeboy said, gotta think logically.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, if it goes past the shoulder, we're just gonna fucking kill him. So
Then do it.
yeah,
But at least give me a shot.
We
Jeez.
were only
All right,
taking
so-
your arm off.
Hey, yeah, we're only thinking about you, man.
okay.
We're
So-
trying to save you.
So Dave has a lighter. Do you?
okay.
I mean,
Ray,
we don't.
is Ray pinning John down? I need to know what you guys.
Well,
are doing.
not in this scenario. If
Okay.
John wants to
Let's-
light the thing on fire to see if it
Okay.
goes away, let's let him
Okay.
stay.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Where's
we
it
need
at?
a conduit,
Duh,
man.
now-
we need to
now-
douse him.
Now,
We need to douse him with lighter fluid or something, man. It's just not gonna happen like that.
Dave,
It's heat.
John,
You can't start a fire
Yeah.
with that wood.
which one of you guys is going to light this stuff? Is it going to be you lighting it, John, with
John's
your other
gonna
hand?
light his own.
I'll light it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see how
These guys are taking my arm off. I'm like, give me a lighter. Let me try this first.
Okay. Now it catches on fire.
Sweet.
Sweet.
But it's not going away.
All right, cool. All right, cat that shit out.
Someone
Take
has
the
a
arm.
hatchet or an axe.
I can tell you what everybody has.
Yeah. Let's get a recap here.
John has 2 hatchets and 4 throwing hatchets.
We'll have to get some of those because he's only going to have one arm.
Ray has 5 throwing hatchets. 5 throwing hatchets. Jason's just got guns and Dave's just got pipe bombs.
All right.
Oh.
So you guys need to hold him down, and I'll take the hatchet that I've got and cut his arm off.
No, we got to heat up the hatchet first to
okay.
cauterize the arm.
Well, I'm already on fire, so let's do this.
It's going up his arm. It's up to almost to his shoulder at this point.
Oh,
you gotta do it right now.
So like,
go.
where am I at? So like, am I like right? Here's my shoulder. Or am I like, how
So
much do I got?
Yeah, you're right about there.
I'll hold John.
Right about here. So
yeah, another round. It's gonna.
all right, cool. We can mechanical something. I got enough of a nub. Let's do this.
All right.
I'll hold John down.
Okay.
Black Lodge guy now. You're the man with one arm.
And
fuck yeah, do it.
Dave gave me fire to cauterize the axe, and I cut his arm off.
Okay, you do so. His arm is gone. A little rough.
Thank God.
A little rough chop there. Had to take Had to take a couple whacks at it. So John's gonna take a little bit of damage there.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of damage.
Quarter of my body.
Yeah. That's why you're at 90. Everybody was at 130 at the beginning of this, so it knocked you down quite a bit. Okay. So you notice that the policeman that turned into a statue has burst open just like Phil did, and it's like a kind of an arachnid hermit crab type monster has made its shell out of this guy's body, and he's coming towards you swinging, and held on.
Oh,
he's coming in with an attack, and he hits Ray by 10.
Oh, good. Well, we spent all that time with John, so I imagine that's why he got the jump on us.
Well, he had several. It takes a couple rounds for those guys to transform, it seems.
Hey, at least the man's alive.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
He was like fully covered and his whole body turned, right? What would have happened if I would have let it go? Like, what would have got into my body and done it? Is that like how it's?
I think it would have just grew. It's a good thing that we took care of it,
Okay, all right. I was just curious.
We're looking out for you from the get.
Yeah,
I know.
It's for the good of the order.
The good of the order.
Okay. So this guy's coming at you, and I will tell you right now that it is Jason's turn.
Shooting.
Okay, you have a pump shotgun and 2 handguns. What are you going with?
Shoddy.
Okay. Nice. You hit him for 12. It's a nice 12.
That don't seem right.
Okay, up next is Ray.
I swing my axe right at the middle of its forehead.
All right. You ding it for 7.
Cool.
Should I tell you these numbers? Does it matter?
No, I like it because now I know next time maybe aim for a leg.
Okay, it's Dave.
All right.
Does
anyone have any adhesives?
Adhesives? No. You've got 3 pipe bombs. You have 3 pipe bombs. That's all you got.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these pipe bombs.
You want to try to tie them
I
together?
got some bubble yum.
You got to tie them together?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I was thinking more of a toss, and then just have it stick to a back or something like that. But I'll just toss a pipe bomb at him, just see what happens, and then run away and piss my pants, maybe.
All right. Well, you hit him by 20. I don't know how much that matters to you, but you've definitely injured him quite a bit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Fucking lost my note. Okay, it's back to Ray, right?
No, it's John.
John. Okay.
Okay. Now, like, okay, so I'm all bandaged up and shit.
And a little salty.
Right?
Sure.
No, I'm cool now. I'm cool now.
Hey, we don't want that to get infected.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I don't know, can I get one of Jason's guns?
If he wants to give one to you.
I'll trade you a throwing axe for a pistol. Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
There you go.
He has a pistol now.
Okay.
All right. I shoot it in the head.
All right, you hit it. She's really wobbling now. This monster is doing the old Mortal Kombat shuffle.
Uh-oh.
Somebody help John reload while we're doing this.
Finish him.
Yeah.
I gotta get my
but-
dark tower on.
But he's gonna throw some spikes at you like a porcupine kind of would out of its claw. No, it's throwing him at Jason, and it hits him for 18 hit points.
Good Lord. A pipe bomb only did 20, but some icicles does 18.
They're more like
This is rigged.
They're more like cement.
You got some armor to him, huh?
Mm. Okay, it's John.
No, I shot him.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's me now.
So it's Jason.
oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on his last legs, or
Then since he's on his last legs, I take my axe and I bring it down on his head.
Sweep the leg. Remember? Go for the leg.
Well, it should be done if I hit him in the head.
Okay.
yeah, he's over with. You've decimated him.
All right.
So now you guys are standing among the remains of two cops, and you notice that John's arm is now crawling towards you in a menacing fashion. It's covered with that black shit. It's coming right for you. Anybody it's up for grabs. What do you want to do to this thing?
Step
I'll
on
throw
it.
my throwing axe at it.
Nice job. You hit it with a 20. So
My arm, my problem.
it's pinned to the ground, and it's still alive, but it's dealt with. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that I think you'd have to burn it all up, burn it up again. But
Burn
that's
the ashes.
that's
We'll
where
turn it
we're
up, and we'll burn those too.
that's where we're ending with that. So until next time, where we figure out what's happening with our friends here.
Do we get to search the cops for like extra ammo and car
Oh
keys?
yeah, sure. When we come back, you can take a look at the scene.
Patience, Maruka.
Can we give
No, Daddy, no.
Can we give John's dead hand his phone so he can tweet? No.
I don't want him doing no tweeting on my behalf.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just
That
feel
hand's a
like,
dick.
Okay. All right. Well, what kind of trivia are we getting into?
We're gonna do George Romero.
See how we do.
Everybody knows the rules by now. We'll get right into it. What does the A in George A. Romero stand for?
Alan.
Albert.
Anthony.
Where'd my answers go? Hold
What?
on. What do we have here?
I said Alan.
I said Albert.
I said.
is-
What
Andrew.
did I say? Anthony.
Ask
Ray,
it.
what'd you say?
Andrew.
That's correct.
Wow.
Ooh.
In the 2002 Sight and Sound Greatest Films poll, which film did Romero describe as my favorite film of all time? The movie that made me want to make movies. So Romero's favorite movie.
Oh, jeez.
That one where the train's coming at the screen.
The Tales of Hoffman.
Oh, fuck.
No idea.
I would have never got that.
No idea.
Yeah.
What did Romero originally call Night of the Living Dead before the distributors changed the name?
Oh, fuck. I've read this.
You know
somewhere.
it. You've
Yeah.
heard it.
Night of the Ghouls.
Close.
Oh.
Night of the Ghosts.
No.
Satellite 42.
Night of the Flesh Eaters.
Night of the
That's a better title, I'd say.
Flesh Eaters. Yeah.
Which 1973 film directed by Romero explores the effects of chemical poisoning in a small Pennsylvania town?
Oh,
Crazies.
Crazies.
Yep, that is it. What the hell was John?
I think John got it before me. Yeah.
In which 1991 film does Romero make a cameo appearance as an FBI agent?
what year?
Yeah, what year?
1991.
Shit.
FBI agent.
Nightbreed?
Nope.
No.
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Is it a Stephen King movie?
Nope.
Is it
Damn.
Candyman?
Silence of the Lambs.
No shit.
Oh, no
Oh.
shit.
Wow.
Huh.
Missed that.
True or false? Romero directed the most recent addition to the Living Dead series, Diary of the Dead.
True.
Cool.
That's true. I think Ray got it.
Yeah.
It was trash.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
It was all right.
He
It
tried
was all
found
right.
footage. He tried found footage, which is fine, but
Yeah.
I thought they told a good story.
In what year was Romero born? 30, 35, or 40?
40.
35.
40. They got
Oh,
Ray.
shit.
What is the name of the production company that Romero, alongside of his friends, created in the late 1960s?
The latent image.
Lawrence.
What did you say, John?
The latent image.
Close.
Oh,
Hmm.
close enough to
Image
give it.
10 Productions. Yes, you got Image, so I give it to you.
There.
That's not close enough.
2 more.
Half a point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get
Okay.
half.
Okay.
What is the name of Romero's current spouse? Guess it's not current.
George.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Anybody
no
know?
idea.
I have
No.
no idea, man. Yeah.
No one knows.
Winifred.
Christine Forrest.
Hmm.
All right, now
This is the moneymaker.
Yep.
200.
Throw out all those other points.
What role did Romero play in his film Martin?
Never seen it. So I don't know.
Martin's dad.
His dad. Yeah.
Martin.
Father
Was
Father Howard.
Oh, he was a
Not
priest.
his
Yeah.
dad.
Father Howard, the father of Martin.
I never got that.
I don't
Sorry.
know. I think Ray might have won that. You'll have to go back and tally up the points.
I
Check
think
the-
yeah, he got a couple questions right. Definitely. I think
We'll
he
check
took
the
that one.
tapes on that one.
Let's just call me the big winner.
Big winner, Ray.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, go
Hey,
ahead.
all right.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Who's got a show and tell item? Anybody?
I do
Anybody?
actually.
Uh-oh.
I do.
I was
As well.
hoping I was hoping to have everything I bought, but I only got this from the London 1888.
Oh, yeah.
Since we were doing Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, it's the Night of the Living Dead shirt.
Nice.
That's cool.
Is that Savini's?
This is the
like
the 1990 one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on.
So I'm pretty excited to wear that, to work one day. That'll be exciting.
They let you wear that to work? I can't wear cool shit like that to work.
Yeah, I can't. I was just joking.
Okay, who's up next? Anybody?
Go, John.
Yeah, I'll go. All right. So because we've been talking about Phantasm, I have the Phantasm Cuda.
Nice.
And this does come out of the box, but I don't take it out of the box. It's open.
Just once in a while.
Dude, I haven't even. This thing is not scarce, but you pay for it if you find it.
Just once in a while in the bathtub. That's it.
No. I'd die. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Okay, who's up next? Anybody?
I'll go. I got a couple of new movies. Well, I guess one is a series.
Ooh.
I should have had some kind of reward for you guys, but if you could if you can guess what series that I just picked up,
Werewolf,
you get nothing. How the hell did you know, John?
Because it's the only horror series that's come out, and I feel like I saw you.
Luca.
About it.
I love Luca.
I've never seen this. Yeah, it's a French release, but it's finally got an actual release and not a bootleg.
Nice.
Right.
Comes with a booklet and shit. So, Ray, I think I've heard you talk about it. I've heard Josh talk about it. So I'm looking forward to binging this.
It was my favorite thing when I was a kid.
I don't know how it got past me, but I have seen none of it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
And then finally, I got Fade to Black.
Ooh, that's cool.
I missed out on the first slipcover, and I thought that was going to be the end of the run, and then they released that slipcover.
Is that Vinegar Syndrome
that's
again?
cool too.
Yeah, Vincent.
Yeah.
So this is my pick for next month. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Can't wait to get on that.
I looked at
I
looked at the stills from that, and I'm excited to see what that's all about. I'll go next. I got these. Just blind bought them. Haven't seen them yet. Happy Death Day.
I love that one.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are both great.
I threw the codes up in the.
I haven't seen the second one.
It's even. I liked it even better than the first.
I haven't seen it yet either.
This I've been waiting to get for quite a while. The Goblin Greatest Hits Volume 1 vinyl.
Oh wow,
that thing looks cool.
Yeah, man.
It's the coolest thing about it is it's this red vinyl. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like really early stuff. It's got Profondo Rosso, which is one of my favorites from Deep Red, and it's also got the theme from Dawn of the Dead on it too. So it's kind of. And it's got shit I never heard before that's also not from a movie, but just as good as anything else they've put out. So, a few items. But yeah, that is Jason's pick for next month, Fade to Black. John is going with Phantasm Ravager. We're going to revisit that, see how we feel about it now that we've watched all the other films. I picked Return to Sleepaway Camp just to wrap that whole series up, and I think I like that one. And we're going to do The Crow, I guess. Poll winner. Weird poll winner, but...
how are we not doing Cemetery Man?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, that'd be great. I just bought that Shameless Blu-ray. That thing looks awesome.
Cemetery Man is a great movie.
It is really cool.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I just watched Psycho Gorman. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
I saw you post about that.
You guys with kids especially. Man, I haven't seen something that made me this like geeked out for horror films in a while. It's it reminds me a lot of The Gate mixed with like Ghoulies, mixed with kind of I don't want to say the Power Rangers, but it's got that kind of vibe to it a little. But it has practical gore effects and some of the funniest dialogue I've seen in a movie in a long time. I'm telling you,
I've heard a lot of good things about it. So,
and I think your kids would like it. That's what I'm saying. It's like if I would have watched this when I was like 12, this would have been one of those movies I bought and watched constantly with like Gremlins
and it's super gory, right?
Oh, it's pretty gory. But if your kids, if your kids have seen Dawn, like if you're showing your kids stuff. This isn't anymore. They don't even use the F word in this movie. But
I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how loose you are with what you let your daughter watch, John. But my boy's seen a lot of stuff.
But I'm telling you, the kids in this movie.
I let her make her own decision. And then I'll be like,
they make the movie, man. They literally like their interaction with this psychopathic monster is it's cool. Genius.
It what I saw of it, like the photos I saw in the stills and shit, it looked like Turbo Kid. They reminded me of that or something like that.
Oh, cool.
That was cool.
I'm telling you guys, you'll enjoy it. And then we can all talk about it in high five.
Yeah. All right. Well,
did Flyboy have a show and tell?
Oh yeah, sorry, Dave.
Oh yeah, fuck Dave.
Oh, I don't have necessarily anything here, but like I do want to plug. I'm sure you guys have probably already seen it. Possessor.
I haven't saw it yet, actually.
The Cronenberg movie. Please
I
go
almost was going to make it a blind buy, but then I'm hearing a lot of people.
Please.
I bought the cut version by mistake.
A horror movie? Like, is it actually a horror movie, or is it just a weird
horror? Is
Cronenberg movie?
Yeah, I would consider it a thriller, but the gore elements are just unbelievable. Like, it's very, very visceral. I mean, something you would expect from Cronenberg anyway, and I think his young boy has done well.
But Cronenberg always gets like he always splits people right down the middle. There's not any even
literally and figuratively.
Yeah, but even some of the stuff I like some of his stuff, but I don't like some of his stuff too. I feel the same way about him as I do David Lynch. I'm like, some of this stuff's really good, but some of this shit is just fucking garbage.
Yeah.
But
yeah, my favorite Cronenberg movie is Existenz, and that's absolutely not for everyone. So and then the other one was His House on Netflix. Highly suggest that. That one's more of a slow watch. It's a slow burn, but I think people would get a lot out of it.
Is that the same movie, or is that a series? Which
it's a film. It's a tight so 135. Right. Yeah.
Okay, because there's some series that some house thing that's also like a limited series on Netflix too.
Yeah, it's like they had House of Bly Manor, and then they had
not that one. That was stupid. Oh. That was terrible. Haunting of Bly Manor. So bad.
I didn't watch
so
it.
Bad.
Did you like Hill House?
It was just okay.
I like the Haunted Hill House, but I watched a couple episodes of that.
It was better than Bly Manor.
I had no interest in it.
It's because Bly Manor was a love story, and Hill House is an actual haunted house story. Bly Manor is like a gothic ghost story with love in it. It's a love story.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love it when Ray likes something and then someone says they don't like it and then he goes,
like what you like.
Oh well,
dude.
whatever then, I guess.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Fuck you and everything you stand for.
Yeah, one more thing I did want to plug is the King Cast. I don't know if you guys obviously you're podcasters. It is a one of my favorite movie critics right now, Scott Wampler, has done it with Eric Vespi, who used to be on Ain't It Cool News. They do an entire retrospective on Stephen King's catalog, and I've been really enjoying that lately.
Oh, that's cool.
Check it out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
cool.
We're gonna wrap her up, guys. Thanks for doing this. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys.
All right.
See you later. Be
Have a good
careful
one,
out
guys.
there.
Stay safe.
All right.
See you guys.
Later.
See you guys.
All right.